And we are live. Hello, everybody. Can we get Denver Sucks in the chat while I check on the sun real fast? Appreciate it. We are in a level 1 high energy proton storm. It's nothing any of us need to be worried about or afraid of. If you caught the morning show and I showed the polar radiation ionization, we basically hit an official storm level for that. It's not major. It's got to be about 100 times bigger than it is right now before it gets scary. But that is relevant, especially for ozone and for polar jet patterns, sea ice melting, things like that. Got to tell you, the number of you who are asking for a salty podcast, be careful what you wish for. Be careful. Anyway, so this is an Earth Disaster Cycle live Q&A. Why specifically on Earth's Disaster Cycle, in addition to the fact that that's like 70% of the live Q&As I do in the first place? We got a big story coming up tomorrow. It's the first major catastrophism science update of the year. And those who have Twitter and who follow me on Twitter got a little preview of what that might be about. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. But anyway, below the video in the description box, there are only 3 links there today. One is to the Earth disaster video. Another one is to the solar micronova video. And another is to my Twitter page. Those who follow me on Twitter, what's up, Kitty Snow? Thank you for the teal pair. Knew that this live stream was going to happen. The only place I advertise, the only place I announce that these live streams are coming is on Twitter. So there's that. But in terms of the other 2 links there, please, if you have somehow managed to get to this point without doing the homework that everybody else has done and watch those 2 19-minute videos, no joke, you can watch one, go to the bathroom, come back, watch the other one, and not an hour will have passed, but you will be completely caught up with everything on the Earth disaster cycle. I don't know how to make it any easier for you than that. If you have somehow managed to not watch those videos, please do so. They will help put tomorrow's top story into perspective. Let's put it that way. But anyway, so that's our introduction. Wow, that took me 3 minutes, huh? I might want to get more efficient at that. Anyway, let the questions flow, and we'll see if the salt flows as well. Dugan Nash, we'll answer this question. He asks, will the solar micronova kill a large percentage of the animals? Brother, at no point have we had one of these cycles be worse than Lachamp. I mean, maybe when you go back to the Blake one more than 100,000 years ago. But in the last 100,000 years, Lachamp was the worst. 4% of the species disappeared. 4. A lot of stuff is left here. Now, granted, the population of all species is going to take a little bit of hit. Bear's mom, thank you for the teal pair. Appreciate that. But this is not the kind of thing that wipes out the entire planet. It never has, and it's not going to do that this time. It is certainly worth knowing about. Bobby Sue, thank you for the teal pair. Appreciate that. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. There will be a lot of animals, plants, and probably quite a number of humans left. Post your chest workout. Look jacked. No. Will this one be worse than Lachamp? No. That's another excellent question. So some of them, as we look back in time, are pretty terrible. Others are just moderately bad. What we can tell you is we've never seen 2 really bad ones back to back. Lachamp was bad. Mono Lake, Lake Mungo, The last one, Gothenburg, bad. That means this next one should be about moderate. That's good news. Is it still going to kill the majority of humans? Yep. Is it still going to take out some species? Yep. But this will not be as bad as Lachamp or Gothenburg if the pattern holds. T. Cole, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Which one of your videos best explains where we need to move besides Idaho? I hear it's full. How about the new Valley of the Sun, which stretches from central Colorado down into Mexico, right along the eastern range of the Rockies? Michael ZP asks how to preserve your DNA. Don't die and reproduce. How's that for an idea? Is it a coincidence that the Western United States has no pyramids that you know of? The Pacific Ocean repeatedly washes across the U.S., at least to the Midwest. No, Sal A. No. The waves go different directions every time. The last one came from the Pacific. That is not what's going to happen this time. I can see you haven't done your homework or watched the videos. It will be the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic attacking the United States this time. What's the thing people are seeing by the moon? I don't know, man. How am I supposed to know what the heck you're talking about? You think I'm sitting there looking over your shoulder while you're watching YouTube videos? Would it not stand to reason that the highest concentration of matter would be at the center of the galactic current sheet? Yes, it would. It certainly would, David. At what elevation is your Colorado camp? 1 mile. Thanks for all that you do. Love the salt. Oh, how far underground should bunkers be? Like that? That's all you need. I wonder how large the impactors will get. Some of them will be like city-sized killers. The majority of them will be like little micro glass beads, like microtectites. So I should learn to swim. Bruv, how old is you? You don't know how to swim? That also explains why the military is moving to plastic caseless ammo in 6.8. I don't know what the last part means, but are they actually doing that? Is the military moving to plastic ammo? Can I do a quick summary of what's going on? No, you can watch the 2 videos linked below in the description box. That is as quick as it can get. Can I jump in a refrigerator to survive the micronova? No, and you don't need to. What is this? Can I translate this? All right, whoever wrote the message in Arabic or Farsi or whatever that is, I can't read that or translate it. Hi, Ben. Preparing a high underground place to be. Also want to be ready to float. Plan B. What would you recommend, please? Fiberglass, small boats, pontoon, massive arc. Anything but an inflatable. You guys remember the footage of the Japan tsunami in 2011? Was it just water? It was trees, rocks, mud, shards of metal, shards of plastic, cars, people. An inflatable is not going to be a good idea. But anything else that could stand some bumping around, it's better than nothing. Elizabeth Elliott says she's on a personal mission to stop the next catastrophe, doing my part. Elizabeth, if that is a throwback to what I said on the last live stream, that is a goddess level comment. If anybody watched the last live stream where I was mentioning how literally women have the power to stop this catastrophe in its tracks. Elizabeth, if that comment right there was a throwback, goddess level comment right there. Goddess. Okay, queen shit there. Holy moly. Epic. Epic. Denver sucks. Anyway, Super Chat says, I know you say when the micronova happens, it will likely impact the Western Pacific, or at least East, not the U.S. How do we know that the impact is cyclical and not random? What makes it a predictable impact? Because we can see not only the burn marks of the micronova flash, but in history where there was the concentration of animals that went most extinct, which is where the shell hits. Last time it was North America. Before that, it was Africa and Europe. And before that, it was Asia, like Central Asia, India. This next time, it's going to be the West Pacific. Have you tried beef heart yet? Yes, I have. Highly recommend. Kitty Snow says the powers that be keep wanting to dim the sun, putting crap in the sky, and now they want a solar shield for climate change. Are they trying to do things to protect for the micronova or just the insanity of climate change? They're insane. They're completely and utterly insane. Absolutely. Can you talk about where the micronova has hit in the past and how we can tell where it hits next? All right, Kev, man, I just did that. Can we name the next excursion the Thanos? You can name it whatever you want. I don't care. When are you going to debate Diamond at ORP? First of all, I'm not going to debate that absolute freaking loser ex-convict. I would have had he not, one, trolled my wife relentlessly on Facebook, saying the most disgusting things imaginable, and two, had he not attempted to do this in a way that was literally just clout chasing. Well, I'm going to help him get views after he did that to my wife and after he trolled me on my YouTube channel, on my Twitter, and back when I had Facebook there too. I'm going to reward him for that. No, that ex-convict can EAD. Hi, Ben. Denver blows. Can you outline some of your differences with Doug Vogt's ideas about the Nova and timing? Thanks again for the help. Doug and I had a lot of differences. To go through them all would take some time. I've gone through them before. As he has recently passed, I don't feel like necessarily jabbing on that one. I did have a ton of respect for him. He and I were friends. We always saw our differences as friendly disagreements. The biggest two are the date. I don't believe that the actual absolute date is coded in the Old Testament, nor do I believe that that is actually knowable. And, I believe the earth tilts. He believes it stops spinning and goes the other way. And that does not explain any of the important evidence in the Arctic or Scandinavia or from the ancient stories, while the earth tilting actually does. Not to mention that the classified material that Major White saved to give to his son to publish in World in Peril definitively says the government has been hiding the fact that they know the earth tilts. Other than that, I just want to say I'm going to miss Doug terribly. And that's all I got to say about that. Happy New Year and God bless you and your family. I appreciate what you were doing to keep us all informed. W. Decker, God bless you as well and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. Would metal roofs and siding help protect from the micronova? No. It's going to attract the induced electricity. Metal might do a good job deflecting cosmic rays, but the biggest concern is the induced electricity, and metal is the last thing you want to be by. That's like golfing in a thunderstorm. If it flipped the earth itself or the crust, I think it would be a figure 8 type flip. Okay. You can think whatever you want, but the data all says it is precisely 90 degrees. There is no other way to explain it. Hopies teach the earth flipped over twice, then stopped spinning, enter the last ice age. I only know a little bit about the Hopies teachings, not very much. How do we prevent our electrical from catching fire? Pray? I have no idea. I'm preparing for a pre-industrial society. See that funny little golf comment, even God can't hit a 1 iron? I played college golf. At one point, I was a +2 handicap, and I could rock a 1-iron. There was not much need for it, but Schmidt Gaming says, when is this going down? Schmidt Gaming, please look below the video in the description box and watch the homework. Each of those 2 videos linked there is 19 minutes. That's literally watch one, go poop, come back, watch the other one. Not even 1 hour has passed, and it will answer the next 500 questions you have. Please do your homework. I was thinking that when the Beaufort Gyre kicks into full release, the ice caps will grow exponentially, and so when we take the flash, those things will pick up some speed due to inertia. Maybe it's not a terrible thought. Still waiting on the Beaufort Gyre release, actually. Haven't thought about that in a couple weeks. That's an interesting thought, Fire Dog. I can't say yes or no either way, but at least your head's in the right place. What about argon gas? I don't understand your question. Thoughts on Apophis? It's going to miss. Grateful Preps. Hello, right back to you on the Jersey Shore. William? That is quite the bit of support there. God bless you, William Evans. Thank you. With the flip, are you worried about the Rio Grande Rift Valley right next door? Beyond that, love your shows. No, I'm not too worried about the Rio Grande Rift Valley. Not too worried at all. I mean, it's going to have some shaking, but everywhere will have some shaking. The Warrior says, Archaics says your 12,000-year cycle is wrong. You two need to talk. He has a very strong point. 1, no, he doesn't. I've heard it. It's not a strong point. 2, if you look on his channel, you can see the interview I did with him. 3, he believes we are living in a hologram and the Earth is only 6,000 years old. Much respect to him, but he's wrong. I saw 5 acres off I-25 in Colorado Springs, anywhere near Observer Ranch. How in the hell would I know? I don't know where this property you saw was. 5 acres off of I-25 in Colorado Springs. That doesn't tell me where it is. I mean, you're less than an hour away from Observer Ranch, if that's the case, but is that what you're asking? Somebody says, what's up with the proton flux? I really do not understand. So when we have a big solar flare in CME, there is the X-rays from the solar flare. There is the CME shockwave from the plasma blast. But there is also a saturation of the interplanetary magnetic field with high energy protons. These are the direct magnetic connections between the sun and the Earth, the sun and all the planets, actually. This is a separate particle surge from the CME shockwave. The CME shockwave just barely glanced us. Like if somebody goes to punch you and they've got their pinky out and they just sort of swipe your cheek. Okay, you're going to feel it, but you ain't going down. This is something completely different. This is a direct connection, and we are getting that surge with high energy protons at the moment. It's not to a level where it's scary. It is mostly just affecting the polar regions where it's going to be affecting the polar jets and the ozone and not much else at this point. And it's not going to go much higher than it is right now. That's a lot of super chats. Would a 6-inch think plastic shell protect electrical wiring from frying, or are there too many variables? Denver sucks. I agree, Denver sucks. And it all depends on what this electrical wiring is connected to outside of your abode. Because if it's connected to some grid outside of your house or to solar panels outside of your house, it's not really insulated. Laura says, are impactors really random, or would they only happen near the shell impact? Will they be global everywhere threat? It's tough to say. The microtectites appear to be mostly concentrated where the micronova shell impacts. The larger impactors are just going to take a little bit longer to arrive. Those will be much more randomized and much more sparse, and they probably will be relatively random. Legion Technology says, live in Fairbanks, Alaska. We have hotspots for viewing the northern lights and have been for a long time. This winter, the lights have not been in those locations, even with the larger magnetic storms. Why? I don't know. Excellent question. As always, during my live shows, I'm running a textathon that I'm ignoring. Is the precessional cycle unaffected by the tilt? I'm not a big precession guy. Just not a big precession guy, especially since if you're going to do it properly, you have to add in apsidal precession, which they ignore, like mainstream professors ignore the sun in climate science. Just not to mention that they think it is a constant speed thing over time, which literally makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just not a big fan of precession science at all. I'm being completely honest. Amy, I like that little gift. Thank you. That's awesome. We live in a dome. We're not holograms. Big man East Side, we do not live in a dome. I don't even know where to begin with that, but you are wrong. And again, that thank you goes out to Amy Rutberg Anderson. Appreciate that. Making sure I don't skip any here. Dumpster Diving Dragon, what's up? Says good works, great shares, a good New Year's, and Elohim's blessing to you, Kat, and yours always. Thank you to all your mods and staff, and a big shout out to Stormy. I don't know if Stormy's here right now. Stormy might not be here. I don't tell Stormy when I'm going to do this. The only thing I do is I put it on Twitter. That's the only place I announce these things. I don't text any of the mods. If they show up, awesome. T. Cole says, does the shell impact leave glass deposits? Depends what you have in your head when you think deposits. We certainly notice concentrations of them in places, but it's not like mountains of glass or anything like that. But there are certainly concentrations in certain areas and in certain layers. I hope that answers the question. Burning Rage says, I meant wiring for storage along with solar panels, etc., for use after everything has gone down, not hooked up to anything. Then in that case, that's as good a plan as any I've heard. Creative Mystic says ancient civilization like Aztec, Mayans recorded the fifth sun, great devastation. In China mythology, they believe we are in our seventh sun cycle. Yup. I see someone said hi, Stormy. Does that mean Stormy's here? Where's she at? Ben, what kind of home will be most likely to survive the kill shot? I don't know. That's tough. There are ways that any home could be vulnerable, and there are ways to help protect almost any home. It's not necessarily the type of home, it's what's inside it. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Rath, glass is sand, and the two most common elements outside of hydrogen produced by every nova event are silicon and oxygen. I'm presuming you can take that one from there. William Evans again, bro. But I'm not noticing any questions. William Evans, if you are trying to ask me a question, please send me an email and remind me of this, because you are supporting like crazy right now. God bless you, William. Does this have anything to do with Beetlejuice? Nothing whatsoever, David. Invisible Front, thank you for the teal pair. You know, those make me smile. Haven't really been too salty today, have I? See if we can keep that going. The last place you want to go is underground during liquefaction of the crust. I couldn't agree more, Mr. Rath. The deep underground military bases are toast. Every single one of them is toast. Okay, might one get lucky? Sure. But between the shaking, the volcanic activity, the sedimentation from the great waves, not to mention flooding potential, just going too deep underground is a terrible idea. Patricia says, how does North Carolina look at this? Not fantastic. If the Rockies couldn't stop the Pacific last time, what do you think the Atlantic's going to do to North Carolina? The last place you want to be is above ground when it's 150 outside. That is true, but it's not going to be like that all over the world. The micronova is going to last just a few seconds, and it is going to torch the Middle East, parts of Africa, and Europe. That's why that part of the world was promised fire and not a flood next time. Have you ever touched grass? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I was the guy who has been talking about grounding since 2011. I posted the scientific articles every couple of weeks on my Twitter page. Have you ever touched grass? I'm just going to presume you're not being a dick and it just came off that way. God bless you. Have a nice day. When would you predict actual start of destruction? Years ago. Are you not paying attention? It is slowly unfolding right now. Is the Earth still going to have a 2029 asteroid? Do people just jump in the middle and start asking questions like they know something? Apophis is going to miss in 29. Piper P says, happy 2024. I'm looking for the Big Bird playlist. I'm not finding it. Interested in the EMP vehicle. So just go to one of the morning news videos. The Big Bird playlist is there. Or you can just go to the Big Bird YouTube channel. That works too. Boy, if that's not a username. Thunder Chicken. Been following preparing since the SO bus days. Nice. The Mobile Observatory. Thanks for all you do, Ben. Thank you, Thunder Chicken. Appreciate that very much. Patricia says, so 6,500 feet above sea level. That's not bad. It's a good start. It's pretty darn good, actually. Got Lake Erie to the south and Lake St. Clair to the north. Either way, we flood. Yep. And I don't know where all that water from the Hudson and the Arctic are going, but it seems like it would come our way. Yep. Benjamin Soul Force. I think you've got your head screwed on straight. Can I talk? Let me see if I can find that one. I scrolled too fast. Can you talk about neutrinos? No. This is a story about Earth's disaster cycle, and neutrinos have nothing to do with that. If you just watched the movie 2012, I understand your confusion. That was a Hollywood fiction movie. Which calendar are the observers going to use post the main event? Gregorian, Egyptian, or lunar? Well, first of all, at Observer Ranch, I am not king. But if it comes down to a vote, I'm going to be voting for some kind of lunar-based calendar. I love that idea. Absolutely love it. Not to mention that it'll help us keep track of what these crazy women are up to. That is if you women do not manage to stop the end of the world here by doing what I suggested. Anyway, Robert Gerald, thank you. Hello. Sorry, late again, but I think they just released Epstein's nonsense. Did they really? I don't think they did, but they may have. I'll check Twitter right afterwards. Works of Art says, not king, not duke, not prince. Just Ben. Ben, how do you feel about the Great Lakes? Also, what's the most important thing I can do in the Northeast Ohio region? I don't feel great about the Great Lakes. And what's the most important thing you can do in the Northeast Ohio region? Most important thing you can do is leave. After that, it would be make sure you're prepping and include something that floats and a lot of guns. Piper P, thank you for the teal pair. Oh, I love it. Love it. Mwah. Do you remember the high-frequency cosmic ray that came from a void in space and named it after Japan's sun goddess, then recently the Japan earthquake? Do you think the elite knew it was going to happen? So, no. Not to mention that cosmic ray did not enter the atmosphere over Japan. That and like a 7 point, yeah, okay, I know it caused a lot of damage in Japan. That's just not that big of an earthquake. You're talking magnitude 8 and higher. Okay, we got something to chat about. William, thank you. Appreciate that. Kurt says, love your work. Any thoughts on the coming total solar eclipse coming in April, which is the second one in 7 years and creates an X over the U.S.? No, zero thoughts whatsoever. Bobby Budnick, what's up, my friend? Looking forward to Scottsdale. I'm looking forward to Scottsdale as well. Just 10 days until our Arizona event. You got a big shout out endorsement by Google whistleblower Zach Voorhees on Mike Adams' interview today. I heard about that. Zach and I interact every once in a while on Twitter. Zach Voorhees is awesome. You guys might remember him. He was one of the major Google whistleblowers from a couple years ago. He and I linked up back then, and we lost a little bit during the COVID nonsense, but we refound each other on Twitter over the last year. I have nothing but the best things to say about Zach. He's awesome. Really cool dude. And if you're going to follow me on Twitter, follow Zach as well. It's also fun to follow Bright Insight on Twitter. He does some absolutely awesome stuff on ancient civilizations. Richard says, thanks, Ben. No, thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Uh-oh, I'm scrolling too fast. Okay, we're back. Don't fear the Reaper. I like that advice. Thank you very much. Estimated time now, Ben, 2030. Now, I'm still thinking 2040s. If we get a major geomagnetic jerk that appears to speed things up, okay, it could be the 2030s. Haven't seen any evidence of it. I'm still guessing 2040s is my best guess. Are we going to be dealing with man-made shenanigans between now and then? Oh, you betcha. But that's not my expertise. I'm becoming very well versed in it, and I'm paying attention every single day to all of it. But I certainly know the sun and Earth's magnetic field a little bit better. Hope that answers your question. Stephen Kane, thank you for the teal pair. Gotta love it. Okay, let's see. Philly Flyers or Colorado Avalanche, NHL. Yeah, thanks. I know the name of the NHL teams. The answer is Pittsburgh Penguins. I grew up in Pittsburgh. During the Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, and Ron Francis era. Tom Barrasso. Yes, I do like Crosby and Malkin. No, I don't really watch too much sports. I'll admit, kind of got into college football this year. If any of you guys got into college football this year, I want to know what you think about my 3 takes, as we literally just have one game left, and that's the college football championship, the college football playoff championship between Michigan and Washington. 3 things I have to say. Let's say Florida State's godlike quarterback doesn't go down. Florida State's the best team in the country. Of course, they lost him. Then they lost a bunch more to the transfer portal. They got blown out by Georgia in their bowl game. But if they don't have all those people transfer because their godlike quarterback basically blasted his leg, Florida State was the best team in the country, and I will not accept any other explanations. 2, everybody who underestimated Washington, myself included, was wrong. You don't beat Texas if you're not a legit contender. And 3, Bama. When Michigan gives you 3 unforced special teams errors like that, you got to capitalize. Michigan's the best team left in the field. Anyway, back to science. Hope you all enjoyed that. T. Cole, X confirmed the client list is out. Really? Oh, that's awesome. Barb Reed says, Ben, why are you so pretty? Get it from my mama. Joe Peterson says, yep, almost 1,000 pages of the pedophiles unsealed. But more importantly, thank you for the 10 years of learning back when coronal holes and quakes were on the front burner. Love you, bro. Love you too, Joe. Thank you very much. So I guess, Epstein list is out. That's cool. Somebody told me to stop yapping and they got smoked by one of the moderators. Looks like you're done yapping, clown. Why would you choose a location so close to a prolific nuclear target? A nuclear exchange could take you out of the game before it even starts. Why would you not mitigate? First of all, where do you think Observer Ranch is? And how big do you think nukes are? And exactly how many mountains do you think a nuke can go through? Also, don't forget, all the powers that be have somehow managed to put on this theater of, we're going to fight. They ain't broke the Antarctic Treaty, have they? They ain't fighting. They're on the same team. Not going to nuke the world. Creative Mystic says, thank you for all you do. I spread the word on all your work on your socials and my spiritual socials. Right on. Followed you since 2018. Right on. Don't miss a video since then. I saw you're the most legit. I say you're the most legit in the game. What a fantastic bunch of compliments, Creative Mystic. I really appreciate that. Why does your hair look like that? Guys with your hairstyle looks douchey and metrosexual. I don't know, Yasmin. Your bitch likes it. Come get her out of my DMs, by the way, clown. Will they still have to activate and incarcerate all the people and use those Halliburton KBR detention centers? I have no idea what that is. Oof. Resonite just dropped Patrick Waugh's name. All right, so first of all, the Avalanche, when Patrick Waugh was in goal and Claude Lemieux and Peter Forsberg were up at the front of the line, they were outstanding. I'm not going to say they weren't. They were fantastic. You drop Patrick Waugh in the damn chat, I'm going to say something. Mac Chick, thank you very much. If I can just go back for a second. I was so upset that Florida State's quarterback got hurt like that. They were absolutely the best team in the country. I was watching. To see in the college football national championship, the tomahawk chop. Have you guys ever seen the tomahawk chop in person, whether it's Florida State, the Atlanta Braves, somebody? You can literally feel the energy and electricity. Anyway, back to science. Ben, love your work. Thoughts on Ripple Moon? Totally fake. Totally faked. Blind man Ben, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Oh, ye hypocrites, ye discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times? Excellent, Norin. Excellent. I don't know if many people are going to get that or follow it, but well played. Brad, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Me again. Need those Cave Explorer souls on media. Start shares of cave systems that are strong and semi-ready. Scan is a fine forum for us remnant. Right on, DDD. Charles Crane, until Graham Hancock admits that it was not a comet, I will not be collaborating with him. Absolutely not. All right, I see I've turned this into basically ESPN talk. Famgall, I obviously can't say yes or no on your prediction of years, but something like that is what I'm looking at. Yeah, something like that. Been watching you for over 7 years. Thank you for all you do and for helping educate us. God bless. God bless you right back, my friend. Guys, this is not going EMP kill shot tomorrow. No. All right. We're not going to be doing this for very long. We're going to stay here just another couple of minutes. I do want to re-say what I said at the start of the show. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be delivering the first big catastrophism science update of the year. It's a good one. Do not miss tomorrow morning's show. And if you happen to somehow have not seen the homework videos, right below this video, there are 3 links in the description box. One is to my Twitter page, which you should be following. The other 2 are to the homework. Each one is a 19-minute video. Literally less than an hour, you will be completely caught up. Almost every question you have is going to be answered. And you're going to want to know that information before tomorrow morning's news. Last couple questions here. Estrogen Acre says, for those planning to float away, you better make sure the hull of your vessel is made like an icebreaker ship, because remember, you will have concrete buildings slamming into your vessel. Yes, buildings will be in the flows as well. Kansas girl here and love the Kansas City Chiefs. Rock chalk, jaywalk, and the tomahawk chop like thunder in your belly. Denver sucks. Thank you, Mech Check. Appreciate that. Fellatio can save the world. Give it a try, ladies. Going to start reading the super chats to myself before I read them out loud. Any evidence, in your opinion, if the galactic sheet will impact the Higgs field? The what? The what? What? Bruv. Somebody send that dude my cosmology playlist. Wayne Todd asked, why is the sun's future not coming out in the mainstream media? So you're assuming the mainstream media is on our side and wants to help us. That's getting adorable, man. Wayne, like, can I cuddle you or something, man? You need a hug? All right. If I can ever get through all these super chats and get caught up, I'm going to end the show. Found you in 2011. How about them Browns? I am from Pittsburgh. You shut your blasphemous mouth. But seriously, 2011, that makes you an SOOG right there. Badass. Good for the Browns. It's about time. Will you be providing a hardback version of your books for sale? I would really love those. Weatherman's Guide to the Sun is hardback, but we're not going to be re-upping that one until the ranch opens. Whenever Kat decides to reopen the store here in the new year, we're going to give her some time. We still have copies of the newest book, but that's a soft cover. Bro, what's up with the sexual stuff? Sounds like your ranch should be more like a pedo ranch the way your attitude about women is. Jedi thoughts. With all due respect, suck my dick, bitch. We're having fun. Shut your mouth. It's funny. You know what? I'm going to block you. You're not allowed to speak here anymore. Please clarify. As full pole shift can happen only with a 12,000 year mini solar nova, what exactly are the details of magnetic excursions in the 6,000 year cycle? Heinrich event, volcanoes, a drop in magnetic field strength, ergo an up in cosmic rays, and climate chaos. Helpful? Hope so. If you are interested in seeing the real Hebrew calendar, I'm not really, but okay, and how it correlates to events in prophecy, Dr. Ken Johnson is quite enlightening. Find him at Bible Facts. Ken Johnson, nice shout out to you from Brad. Gonna miss you in Scottsdale. I'll be in Forest Hills. Barb! No, you won't. You will be in Scottsdale. Come on, Barb. Hydrofire says he doesn't reproduce. Does he not know I have 3 children? Why the sexual stuff? Sounds like you're going to have pedo ranch. Oh, I bet the he doesn't reproduce is meant for the dude who was giving me shit. Hydrofire. Thank you. I appreciate that. Took me a second. Was a little slow on that. Took me a second. But I got it. I got it. Oh, somebody doesn't like the way I talk. All right. Goodbye. Ben, what do you think of Dutch Sense? I wish he hadn't doxed me so I could still be anonymous. I wish he didn't troll me for nearly a decade. Have you watched any of the new Sapphire videos? Tell me you're not keeping up with my morning show without telling me you're not keeping up with my morning show. Anyway. So. Huge fan at No Brackets. We are hosting a Pole Shift Science Space on Twitter, January 11th, 6 p.m. We'd love to have you as our guest speaker. How can we get you on? You can't. That is Catherine's birthday. Sorry. Definitely nothing personal to you. And Godspeed with that space on Twitter, because that would be awesome. Anyway, Soul, thank you very much. All right, guys, we're going to call it here. Don't forget, if you have not done that homework, do it, because you're not going to want to walk into tomorrow morning's show behind. All right, get caught up tonight. It's just two 19-minute videos. They're right there below, the Earth disaster video and the solar micronova video. You are going to want to watch them or even rewatch them before the morning show, where I will see you. Some of you, anyway, those who weren't offended by by the dumping of salt on that one jabroni a few minutes ago. Anyway, guys, see you in the morning. Be safe, everyone.